Okay, it does look like the audio is working now.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we should be good here. That was entirely my bad.
All good, all good.
Yeah, have never streamed before, so
To get my honor to 30. Thank Kiwi headshot right now.
Looks like there are some technical difficulties, so next map maybe a little bit.
but is there any character bans yet?
Not currently, no.
Okay. So now we just need to see if we have any new bans. Because I feel like Purdue did pretty decent overall on that map, but they just there
Yeah,
were
there were a lot of
yeah, there were some sections where they seemed a bit scattered, I guess. I don't know if
I
you
think
feel that as well.
yeah, no, I think they have a lot of good things. It's mostly just that they've pretty consistently not like even in fights where they're able to get picks early, they're not necessarily able to finish them. Um, but they very clearly have the potential to win this game. They've turned fights when they're down. They've been able to get picks early. They've just not been consistent in finishing out fights. And so I think getting that together so that if they're going to continue to run like a comp like that Sombra Junkrat, figuring out how to make sure Sombra is not running away to get a health pack or dead when the Junkrat damage goes through so that we're able to like finish some of those kills. I think things will start falling in line for Purdue, and they'll be able to turn this around because there's a lot of things that they're doing better than Keiser right now. So they should be able to turn it around, hopefully.
Okay, so we should be, and it does look like the
Fantastic. Are we on the YouTube or the Twitch?
we are on YouTube.
Yeah, still no bans or map quite yet.
So I'm just trying to think on stuff to say while we're waiting for the technical difficulties from Purdue to be solved.
Yeah, hopefully it resolves soon so we're able to get back.
It does look like
Um,
Purdue's in again. We just don't have any new maps or any of that. We just need to see where they. What do you think Purdue should try to? I mean, you said like get more picks and
yeah, I think the biggest thing for them is kind of coming together with target focus since they're able to. I think their players are good, and I think they're able to get kills on their own. But they'll beat up a man, and then Keiser will be able to flip it, or they won't clean up a fight quick enough, and they'll lose a lot of point progress. So I think cleaning up, being able to more consistently centralize their focus, I think is going to be a key to winning future maps for Purdue. It seems like they've picked King's Row, which I think is a very popular map and one that I think will favor them quite well. Sorry, I think their Junkrat will favor a lot better, a lot more walls to bounce off of on a lot more of those maps. I think if they choose to run the sim, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with sim on at King's Row. Um, I'm interested to see what we get from Peely on tank. Uh, yeah, was not doing a lot of like more traditional brawl characters other than Ramatra. So my guess is we're seeing Ramatra. But something like Reiner Zarya could pair really well with that Junkrat. So I'm interested to see what Purdue runs. Interested to see if they put that Lucio in their brawl because even when they have run brawl, they've opted for more like Bap Bouillon. So I think a Lucio could help them a lot in like sticking together, quickly aggressing on and quickly pressing advantages. Um, so time will tell. Also based on bans. Looks like we're gonna see a Kiriko ban. So that's probably yes. Oh, I don't know why. That's NECC. They might have different league rules. I shouldn't have said that. Oopsie. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, something like that. It will do.
Oh. Oh, no.
Hmm. Well, I don't believe so. I tried looking for a rule book for them. I don't know where exactly it is. So, I believe Purdue's was Kiriko. Yes. Yes. Yes, Kiriko for Purdue.
I just realized squad comes one. Oh. Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they're not waiting for it. Which it's 8:45 and we're starting up too, so
Initiating match.
as long as the game gets shown, it'll be all right. They're swapping to have Kaiser defend first, since Matt Pick went to Purdue. believe. Oh.
Now entering. Keep initiating match. Ready for battle.
Yep.
It's likely that time is passing at the same rate it always has. Barring relativistic effects, of course.
Five, four, three, two.
Looks like we're going to be seeing a Sig Sim hold from the side of Keiser. Purdue's definitely going to be... Oh, big pick from Duel under the Sim. That's going to be really massive. Purdue's going to be wanting to push on this. We're going to see a pin right away from the Reinhardt. Sojourn on the right side is walled off by the Mei. Looks like we're going to see Purdue just kind of run it up main since they're up. Healy swinging on the front line. We're going to see Life Lever lose some abilities, pinning in again, ooh, but the pick is going to come in from Sojourn onto the Sombra. But we're going to see Life Lever go down. That's a lot of healing gone. There's a big bio from the side of Keiser, and it looks like that's going to be able to flip it. As Fancy comes back and does some work on the Symmetra. Ooh, but Sim does go down. It doesn't look like that's going to be enough to flip it, though. Ooh, does manage to pick up the Ana. Is on point, tapping. Sim's going to get yanked back by Life Weaver, and it looks like Purdue is going to get some presence on the point here. Might even get a tick or two before the recontest comes in from Keiser. I really like this Purdue comp right now into this kind of Sig poke coming in. And we're going to get a pick from Duel onto Ugly, although Duel will drop shortly after to the Sojourn. I think it's really quite nice. I think the Sombra is making a lot of space for the Brawl to move forward. And I think it's overall really nice for Purdue because they're able to, on game throw, kind of push the distance really quickly and not get poked out too much, although right now they're just kind of standing and choking. So hopefully they're able to move past that with that Mei wall that they're trying to try to make them some space. Right on the card. Does manage to take out both DPS, and a little bit of a late Wuyong ult, not sure that was 100% necessary, but nevertheless going to clean up the fight, and only 3 ults, as well as getting that Sim ult out from Keiser, so it's going to be relatively even ult economy, possibly a little up from Keiser due to that Wuyong ult coming out, so no support ults on the side of Purdue, but we are going to see both Shatter and Blizzard. Either one of those coming out early could basically win this fight for Purdue, so I really hope to see those come out early. And a pick from Ghoul onto Ugly yet again. Very good early performance. Ghoul trying to hack that Lucio, get a little bit of value too. This is really good for Purdue though. They're up. They have an opportunity to use ults if Keiser tries and touches, and they should be able to clean up this point very shortly. Looks like we're going to see a big flux coming out from Keiser though. Soj does go down, but it looks like the Blizzard from Purdue Goes a little far, misses most of Keiser, but it looks like Purdue's still going to be able to wrap it up as everyone on Kaiser's very low, and that is going to be a couple of kills, and then we're going to cap point 2. Purdue, very, very brisk pace right now, very good setup. Ghoul's getting a lot of picks onto supports, is dying a good bit, but it's not mattering because those picks are able to allow Purdue to push up. Doing a very good job overall right now. Really liking their stuff. Hopefully we get an early shatter from them to try to keep up this momentum, although there is now an opposing Farah, which is going to pick the Leon on the side of Purdue. Yeah, shatter onto Lucio is going to get that off. Hack on Ryan's going to finish that up. Farah going to get pressured out a little bit with a virus. Sombra, translocating up, does finish that kill. Yep, and it looks like this, with this Sombra, Purdue's just going to keep pushing forward, is going to get the Sojourn, and as long as they keep people on target, this should be pretty close to a cap, because if Keiser just goes to touch it, Purdue's just going to EMP and kill them all. Yep, big buy onto the Reinhardt. EMP comes out, most of the torch going down. Zoj trying to touch. Zoj is touching with the overclock. But Leonel's going to come out, and they should be finishing that shortly. Still not quite done yet, and it is going to finish with 3:30 on the clock.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
I think, yeah.
Initiating match.
Yeah, I think the big thing with that is I think Chicken Man is a lot more comfortable playing around the team with that May compared to Junkrat. As he's been doing a really good job of sticking right at his Reinhardt's hip and helping him with walls, but also just helping him win the tank trade because Fancy's been on that Symmetra for a good bit, but a lot of the time has been distracted by Ghoul on Sombra or has gotten picked first, and that's made it so that with the Mei, with Keely, he's able to more consistently win that Rhine duel because he has a DPS constantly slowing the other tank and dealing damage to the other tank with that Mei left click. And Keiser just hasn't been able to keep up with it, has been losing the tank trade, and Ghoul's been getting picked, so their support line hasn't been able to support that tank, and so they've just been able to mostly run over because Green Juice and Frog have been able to help keep Keely up with relatively little contention. There hasn't been a ton of pressure on those supports coming from Keiser, and there's been a lot of pressure onto the backline coming from Ghoul on the side of Purdue.
Sniper! Taking my head now.
Yeah. Yeah. Is going to lead to the first kill onto that tank, so probably going to be a little bit of a wait here for Keiser as they wait for that tank to get back. The Sombra is definitely opening up a lot of room for those tanks to go down, distracting the backline, just doing whatever she can to apply pressure. Is making it really hard for some of the more aggressive players on Keiser to actually be aggressive. But we are going to see Keely go down. Looks like just Chicken Man in the front as Sadie is trying to move forward on that Freya, make a lot of space for her team. But Ghoul coming out, getting that hit along with Frog on Yuyon. Ghoul is going to make it out alive. So is relatively even right now. Hack again coming in on that Reinhardt, although is taken out shortly after. But Keely is coming back, does land a big shatter onto the opposing Reinhardt. Does get pulled by Life Fever. Yeah. Ooh, and the shatter coming in from Swift J, and that's gonna should be enough. With both May and Reinhardt down, not a lot to contest point. So that does look like it will be point A on the side of Keiser. They are going to recontest with the Nano Reinhardt and Yuliano. We're going to see Freya ult. We're also going to see Blizzard coming out from Chicken Man. Wraith is coming out from Fancy on the Reaper. Does manage to catch Chicken Man, although now in the thick of it, is going to get caught out by the hack and is going to be taken down by Keely. And it looks like Purdue's going to be able to recontest and take this point back. Not giving up at to Keiser. Very good stuff. And they're able to force out Keiser completely. We are going to see Chicken Man come back on this Junkrat, so no more May for the time being. But a lot of good stuff coming from Purdue. Really good recontesting. A lot of own sacrifice, but it looks like they were able to make use of it. Shatter coming in from Swiftray, and that is going to be, not quite. Ghoul is going to contest, but that will be point A for the side of Keiser. But still, really good effort from Purdue, delaying that another fight, forcing them to use that Shatter, that Death Blossom. And giving them not a ton to start their point B push with, as compared to Purdue has an EMP to get it started. There is the Coalescence, but Ghoul's gonna pick the Freya, and Coalescence is particularly vulnerable to a reaction EMP, as it can just get cancelled right away. Ghoul providing a lot of pressure though, so that payload isn't going anywhere right now. And while Ghoul's doing that, the supports are occupied, and Keely's just gonna be able to take out both Ryan and Reaper, and Purdue's gonna take full control of this map right now. Ghoul pressuring the supports again, is going to get taken out this time, but Chicken Man also gets Fancy, so that's going to be one DPS for both sides. Both supportals are on the side of Keiser though. Yeah. Really gets pinned, but looks like they're going to be kind of collapsing in on Swift-J. We're going to see that William bolt come out. Big EMP on just both the front line and the supports of Keiser, and it looks like that's going to be that fight. Massive EMP there on the part of Ghoul. Doing a lot of work there as both supportals come out. Keiser used both supportals that fight and still don't make it out with the win. And all Purdue uses is Wuyong ult and EMP. So there's going to be a lot of offensive ults coming out from the side of Keiser, but if Purdue's able to come out early with some of those, some of their offensive ults, there's going to be no defensive ults on the side of Keiser, and they're just going to be completely stuck. And Purdue's done a great job this map of going first. Ghoul's been moving in very aggressively, and I've seen them take kind of the first swing in a lot of these fights. And if Keiser wants any chance of winning this without any of their defensibles, they're going to have to start swinging first. Chicken Man is going low. And yeah, very smart from Purdue. We are seeing them back up, give some space, try to get those respawns back. They know that with those respawns, they can win one fight and kind of have that be the end of the map here. So they are fighting right now, not trying to lose a full team by getting those ticks. We are going to see both shatters happen simultaneously. Not a ton coming from either, but a lot of damage. Keely is going to get Nano, going to start walking in, trying to win that tank trade. Massive Blossom coming out from the side of Fancy. That's going to pick up 3. Yeah. There is a potential with the Sombra on the side of Purdue that they do go to try to contest this. If they do, they could go for a very impactful Junkrat fire to try to flip this, and it looks like they are going to be aggressive. Ghoul is going to be moving on the play, is going to get that pick. We are now going to see Tyre come out. Not a lot to deal with it right now. Doesn't manage to pick up anyone. And Ghoul goes down to the Sombra, but a big bio node coming out from Green Juice. Shatter coming out as well. Does manage to pick up Reinhardt, and that should be wrapped here. Not a ton they can do. Reaper still on cart. No wake for him now. and that's going to be map 2 heading Purdue's way. Really like the adjustments, really like the comp strategy coming from Purdue here. Very much playing to their strengths, and went really well for them. They looked dominant on that map. Yeah, no, very, very good adjustments coming from Purdue. I'm interested to see kind of where Keiser takes it from here with their map and ban choices. I'd very much not be surprised to kind of see that Sombra ban. Sombra was very much kind of a pain in their sides that entire game. Ghoul was playing it very well. So my guess is Sombra's probably banned, and my guess is they're also trying to take it to less of a brawl map, as it seemed like Purdue was kind of winning those fairly consistently. As far as the brawl mirror, the Rhine on the side of Keiser was going down a lot earlier in most fights. So I'd suspect they probably want to take it maybe something like Gibraltar. Wouldn't really give the advantage to Purdue with how they're playing right now. Especially if they also do ban that Sombra.
I do agree with that a lot. I do feel like that with the way that Sombra was playing from Ghoul, it is highly likely that they're probably going to ban the Sombra, but I don't know. I feel they could go Reinhardt, though, because Reinhardt is being a big pain, too.
I could see that. I think yeah, I could see that. I feel like,
I mean, it could. I guess technically Junkrat too, because the last 2 maps he was a pain for Keiser, but maybe not as much as the Sombra and the Reinhardt were on King's Row there.
Yeah, they might choose to
Move
go
it
to
to
a more open,
maybe
go to a more
push
open map.
or
I
a
could
control.
see push. Yeah, I could see push and control. They might take it to a map that doesn't generally have as many good small choke points that Ryan thrives in, to try to take out the Ryan that way, and then also ban the Sombra to kind of get rid of both of them. But it'll be interesting. With Purdue, honestly, with how they're playing right now, I just run what they just ran, assuming it doesn't get banned.
And it looks like Kaiser's asking for a 5-minute break. So
yeah, but I think Purdue's playing quite well. So apart from bans, I think unless they're going to like a map where they really can't run this comp, like Gibraltar, that I just continue running this. I think it's playing to their strengths. I think it'll do them.
I feel like
do them well.
They could keep some of those characters if they went to Gibraltar. Like, if played right, the Sombra can be still very effective. And that's from personal experience, maining Sombra for the longest time. She can still be very effective. Sombra is a type of character. If you play her right, she can be effective in most situations, and it's more just how do you respond to her. Now, the Reinhardt, if they go to Gibraltar, Reinhardt might not be that effective because there's not as many choke points, and it's a lot more open of a map than King's Row is.
Yeah, I think the Sombra pick they can pretty much run anywhere. It's more so the brawl style with the May Reinhardt that they were running that maybe you wouldn't run that on Gibraltar, but most maps other than Gibraltar, maybe Dorado, I'd probably still run that comp. Because you can make it work, and they seem a lot more comfortable on that than their other positions.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of just hard to say with the bans, because are they going to try and be reactive when it comes to those bans? Because I don't know, because that could go really any way.
My
But
guess is it probably will be reactive at this level. I don't think teams at this level are developed enough where they are going to maps playing hard meta. So I think a lot of it's going to be adjusting to the strength of the enemy team. And I think the strengths of Purdue are pretty clear right now in they have a good Sombra, and the Sombra is messing with their backline a lot. So unless you think Ghoul's gonna play gonna be just as bothersome on Tracer, it makes a lot of sense to try to get rid of that pick. And we haven't seen that yet. So my guess is that's definitely something they go for. Since apart from that, what have we seen Ghoul on Pass and Sim?
I mean, he does have the high level on Sombra, and I mean, he could go with the Tracer, but I don't know. I feel like Tracer can be kind of, I don't want to say easy to counter, but she's not the most complicated, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when these map bans actually come on through.
Yeah, I do feel like this Purdue could be kind of, I don't know, because Purdue looks like does play a certain type of composition, and with the way they've been playing, it looks like they can play in most, if not any scenario.
Yeah, I think trying to trying to make the comp that they've had success with work in maybe a spot where it's slightly suboptimal is going to work a lot better than running a comp that's maybe suboptimal on a map where it's optimal.
Yeah, I mean, oh, it looks like we are getting a map of Havana and an Ana ban coming from Keiser here.
Interesting. The Bionades were coming out fairly big from Green Juice, so I do kind of see where they're coming from there.
I
And
feel like there were better bans they probably could have done, personally.
yeah, I feel like if you're Purdue, you don't mind that at all. I feel like you run what you just ran on Kings Row. Yeah, I feel like you don't make a ton of adjustments. You can very much run that brawl on Havana. There's a couple points where you got to make clean rotations in order to get by poke, but I don't think the poke from Kaiser's been especially consistent. You can, swap that Ana for a BAP, and I think you really won't have a ton of issue just running that same brawl and trying to walk over Kaiser again. So I think that ban coming out from Purdue, I think they're in a really good spot to win this next map.
We have Havana. We don't have a ban from Purdue yet, but we're just trying to see who is attacking. So okay, so Purdue's still deciding their ban and who will be attacking first. But I feel like if you're Purdue, you probably get your defense done, because it does look like Purdue's defense is kind of at least if Havana will go the same way as Kings Row did, their defense is maybe not as strong as the offense. especially with that Sombra. And Purdue, if they got the defense done, they can just then focus on getting their attack done and just steamrolling through if they do what they did on King's Row.
Oh no, just like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm like only halfway through getting my honor 29.
Yeah. Very interested to see what Purdue goes with here as far as ban.
What?
If I had to guess, I'd probably say they want to ban something like Reaper, or Sojourn, as those DPS seem to be causing them a bit of trouble. But
I'd say a Sojourn ban would probably be really good here.
yeah, and they are going to ban Sojourn.
What?
Yeah, no, I think Purdue's in really good shape to win this match. Getting rid of that Sojourn.
It does look like Purdue is attacking first. Can you just let them know Prod is not ready yet?
You don't have to swap them if Purdue's attacking first.
Yeah, because is it?
Red is attack first.
Yeah, true. So the left ban. So the ban from Keiser was Ana, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we have this Ana ban, which I feel like it's not a very good, I guess, ban.
I do understand where they're coming from, but from my perspective, I'd be much more worried about pressure from Sombra and losing that tank trade compared to I guess they're thinking that the auto Bionades are causing them to lose that tank trade more than the Sombra pressure, but I disagree with them if that's what they're thinking. So
I do like that Sojourn ban though from Purdue though.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense. The fights Purdue was losing was often because they're taking a lot of damage early, and Sojourn was a very contributing cause to that. I think when forced to go to Freya instead of Sojourn, they just weren't they were not doing the same amount that they were on Sojourn.
But it does look like they're not playing that Sombra that was being so effective for them.
There was some once.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're gonna go full Sig Hope.
Sorry.
Which I can understand.
These days, that's all I've got.
It is sometimes a little tricky playing the Sombra here. Not a ton of flank routes makes it pretty easy for observant teams to kind of spy check you, reduce a lot of your value.
Yeah, true.
But I don't think Kaiser's been doing that a lot, so I think it would have been advantageous to stick with it, but let's see what Ghoul can do on that.
And with just how effective Ghoul is, I feel like he could have found a way for that Sombra to be very effective.
It's going to be hard for Ghoul to win this Ashe duel too, because Kaiser's going to have that Mercy pocket on the Ashe. So it's mostly going to be, honestly, Ghoul's mostly going to be wanting to be trying to take out that Freya and Leon more than looking at that Ashe. Just because that Mercy pocket's going to make it very hard, but Ghoul is going to go down to that Freya. And we're going to see both DPS on Purdue go down to that Freya. And that's going to be just cool for this fight at that point.
Doesn't look like it didn't look like anyone trying to fight the Freya. She was kind of just going untouched.
We are now going to see Ghoul swap that Sombra. Quick switch. I think that's probably smart. Going to be able to apply pressure on that backline probably fairly quickly. Is now going around to high ground, trying to sneak up on those on Ashe. See if we can get a quick kick. That way is going to get a hack. There is a Mercy pocket, so don't know if the kill's going to come through. Is going to translocate out, is not able to finish that, but does take a lot of attention away. But is going to go for Wuyon, and is able to finish that one.
But just that distraction on Ashe there allowed a little bit of a push up by Purdue, and all that push was all Purdue needed to be able to get their push and finish off any stragglers.
Right, is still back with that Mercy, doing a lot of damage right now. And they do get the res on the Ashe. Looks like they might be able to come back. Committing a lot of ults here. They are getting Baptiste. Healy's probably going down on the Sigma too. So looks like Keiser is going to be able to recover from this fight and keep Purdue stuck on point A. They are on Monkey though, so that could be very vulnerable to May. With some of the slow on that jump in, and there's just a lot of poke overall from the Baptist Sig. Gonna be harder to maintain this poke composition that
oh, and that attack on Freya in the back line.
Yep, that's a big hit coming from Duel. Gonna be hacking Monkey, trying to get a lot out. Monkey no bubble at this point, no jump either, and that EMP is gonna make it really hard to
there's the pick on Kiri. Winston's getting a little low.
Reverse the tide!
Yep.
But there is that revive on Kiri though.
Yep, is able to teleport out before that Leon ult hits him. Still only 2 ults from Purdue.
And like anyone's trying to deal with that. No one was trying to deal with the Mercy there, but they got it.
Yeah, this Sombra is just... They gotta keep running it. It keeps working. So
I like the Sombra pick here. Sombra is effective, very much so if played well. I guess is the best way to put it.
yeah, Duel is dead, but is generally doing a great job of staying alive, but still attracting the attention of Keiser. And even getting some kills with that attention. And as Sombra, that's really the thing you gotta do, is you gotta take up resources from the enemy team, and even if you're not necessarily getting kills when you take those resources, denying those resources means it awards your team more opportunities to win fights. And we're gonna see Ghoul pick up the Ashe, and still make it out alive.
And it does look like Chicken Man went back to that May.
Ult coming out from Freya. We are going to see a couple picks out of the way of Keiser, and that's probably going to be it for them. But we do see a lot of ults coming online for both teams. Following this next fight, Freya just used hers, but apart from that, we're going to be seeing Sombra ult, Bap ult, May ult, Sigma ult, Winston ult, Ashe ult, Mercy ult, and Kiriko ult all online. So there's going to be a lot of ults. And this next fight's really going to be about who uses them well and who uses them early. If we're able to get an early Kiriko rush from the side of Keiser, it might be kind of raps. If we're able to get like an EMP Flux combo or something like that to incapacitate a lot of Keiser, and that happens early, then they're not going to have the opportunity to use their ult. We are going to see the EMP come out early. Suzu comes out as well as well, but Mercy's down already. Does look like a couple more kills coming through for the side of Keiser.
Bob taking down Peely there, and now it's just up to Ashe picking off the straggling Chicken Man. Now it's Purdue's back to square one, but it didn't. Purdue only really used that EMP there. They didn't use the Baptiste or the May or the Sigma. And 2 of the really big ults from Keiser with the Winston and the Bob.
Big hit coming out from Duel, followed by
time.
Blizzard and Flux. And it looks like that's going to pick up Ashe, probably will pick up and going to pick up Frey as well. That's going to be Rap's biggest fight. Very good, well played there from Purdue. They knew there weren't a ton of offensive ults on the side of Keiser, really only support ults. So they knew as long as they played quick, didn't let that Tsune rush get set up, they'd be able to play a fight really quickly. It looks like we are going to see Torbjorn try to deal with that Sombra. So it's going to make it a little bit harder for Duel to get some flanks up as cleanly. And we're going to see Sadie pick up that pick onto Duel right away. You're going to see both support ults come out from both teams. But it looks like the kills are coming down on the side of Keiser for the moment, and it looks like they're going to be able to hold Purdue right here. yeah, that's gonna be it.
I mean, Purdue might not have been as dominant as they were in Kings Row, but it wasn't a bad round at all. It wasn't.
Switching sides.
Yeah, Havana's a very hard map to push on. There's a lot of full holds on this map. It's definitely
Initiating
very
match.
much still in the realm of possibility for them to completely shut out Keiser, and that'll make it that would set them up really well to finish this series out on a fourth map.
I feel like with Purdue here, I don't think they should keep that Sombra here. I do like the Reaper.
Your heart
I
is
do
found
that
in
the
freedom
Orisa
and
that could be a
safety.
very good play here if
Has anyone
they
ever
play it
told you
right.
that you are kind of a creep?
Yeah, no,
And
I
the
think
Venture.
very interesting setup.
But I mean, I can't complain about it. I do think that Reaper wouldn't have been a bad pick, but I feel like with this range, if Venture over the Reaper for more of a closer range fight, because Venture's they're very effective at range, at like medium range and even into the close. So I do like that pick. The Soldier
Yeah.
isn't a bad pick either, by any means.
I'm curious about this Winston Bastion. Bastion typically likes a lot of resources to set up, and Winston's going to want a lot of resources on that dive. So I'm worried if Winston's going to demand a lot, and the rest of Purdue's going to be able to flash onto that Bastion. But we'll see how that goes. Gould's going to get an early pick onto that Brig, which is going to do a lot of damage. That's taking a lot of damage, and it looks like Bastion's going to go down too. A lot of aggression from Purdue, and it looks like it's paying out right now, as there's just not a lot of resources to go into that Bastion. Only Kiri and Brig, and it looks like we are going to see that Bastion get swapped for a Cassidy.
Which I do feel like that's probably the better pick.
Yeah, especially with Venture here, that flashbang is going to make it a lot harder for Venture to do what they want to. So I think that's definitely a good pick. Also less resource intensive, so they can put more resources into those monkey dives. But another pick early, he was able to pick up Fancy really quickly here.
It does look like Fancy swapped off that Cassidy pretty quick to go to that Symmetra.
And Ghoul able to pick up both supports, and it looks like Ghoul and Healy are just kind of running through all of Keiser right now. Not a lot of resistance. They're really not able to do a lot about this Orisa Venture like 1-2 combo. I'd really like them to see like maybe have some supports that are able to survive a bit more. I guess Brig might have like maybe was trying to do that, but wasn't hitting whip shots on the Venture to kind of disable. I guess they're going Wuyong now to try to run away, but especially with the like close quarters they're playing, and Ghoul another pick onto the supports. Ghoul's just kind of running over them right now. Moving on to the Ramacha right now, and is able to take it out with the help of Healy. And Ghoul's just running circles around Keiser right now. Not really taking too much pressure. Able to get help secure the kill onto the enemy Wuyong. And it's looking very, very clean for Purdue right now.
And now Purdue with every ult here, basically in just a second or two, you're gonna have that Soldier ult, and you're gonna have every single ult there. Because I feel like we're gonna get this Venture ult here soon, especially with Keiser grouped up.
Yep. Yeah, Kaiser's very grouped up, very vulnerable, but it looks like they're just going to get kills without it. We are going to see the Orisa, and that's going to be one of the supports, so Ghoul and Healy kind of able to get it done without that Venture, which looks really good, because we're going to see 4 ults online for Purdue going into this last fight territory. And I mean, you have Kitsune Rush, which is a very strong ultimate, but they've been very slow to use it on the side of Keiser. I don't know if they're going to.
I think this is going to be where that Juno ult comes out with the flank.
Venture, ooh, dropping a little low. We are going to see Wuyon ult come out as well as Visor. Lots of things coming out from the side of Purdue. We do see a trade, 1-for-1, but Reaper's going to go down to Venture, and we're going to see Baffled as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see Venture ult pop very soon to try to secure some of these kills, but is able to pick up the Kiriko without it, applying a lot of pressure that Soldier. We are going to see Ramacha ult come out, and here's the Venture ult right now. Moving into this, Ramacha not getting a ton done there, and does get taken out by the Reaper. Looks like they might be able to flip it here for Keiser, especially with that Wuyon ult. Big knockdown on Peely, and they're going to take that out too. But there is still a good amount of damage on Purdue's comp, so they might be able to flip this, especially with a recontest. There is a little bit of time, but that is probably looking like point 8 for Keiser, especially with that Blossom. There's no way Purdue can recontest at this point.
I don't like that Blossom there. I feel like he just overextended when he blossomed
Ghoul
there.
is gonna try and touch on this point. Not able to get a big lift up from Burrow because of that Ramacha field, but just does enough to get the contest out for Peely and both of the supports, which does force the Kitsune rush. Yeah, looks like kills are going to be coming in for Keiser, but no further ults committed from Purdue, and they are able to get that Kitsune rush out, which is really important. That Kitsune rush was going to be super helpful for Keiser on this next point, and they're just not going to have it. That pick on Chicken Man does hurt the setup for Purdue, though. Going to make it harder to get back in this, back in control of this map. And you really do not want Keiser in control right now, because if they get 2 good fights in a row with how they're pushing right now, honestly, one good fight that maybe takes a little bit longer, that's map. Yeah, Ramacha field able to once again kind of stick Venture to the ground and kind of disable them a little bit, which does lead to Ghoul dying yet again. Yep, Reaper moving once again on the Wuyon. That's another death. This is not looking good for Purdue right now. And another pick from there, and Cards inching ever closer. Yeah, if these kills go down, there's not going to be a lot of time to touch. Ghoul will be able to, so they're going to have like at least a chance at this, but it's definitely going to be a very staggered last fight. And there's already pressure on the Ghoul. And Frog goes down. It's going to be very hard for Purdue to win this. Venture goes down, Bap shortly after. I don't even know if Orisa's going to get a touch here. Soldier will, but Orisa does get in time enough to ult, but doesn't get enough done with the ult, and is being taken down now, and that's going to be map 3, going the way of Keiser to take the lead 2-1.
It says Team Sigma, but they just didn't change the names. But
very strong start on that defense from Purdue, but the Ram swap hurt Ghoul a lot. Ghoul was doing a lot on this Venture, and as soon as that Ram swap came out, they just kept getting hit with that field and getting sucked down as soon as they burrowed up, and then getting melted off that, and that just kind of flipped the momentum towards Keiser, and they were able to kind of complete pretty easily after that came out. So would not be surprised if they try to avoid running that Venture into that Ram. Another reg. It's 9:30. We're 3 maps. No, it's fine. I'm so sorry.
because I don't know. I feel like with that Ram, yeah, Venture's not a great idea, but I don't know. I feel like the Sombra, that Keiser easily kind of suss out a way to get a Sombra. Just don't leave anyone on their own, because every player had someone with them. Because you had the Mercy and the Ashe grouped up, and then you had the other 3 all together on point. And if Sombra would push in, you'd have multiple people attacking. So they did find their way to get that Sombra dealt with. It does look like map is Suravasa, according to Peely.
Okay,
So
I like that a lot.
We're going over to that flashpoint.
I like that a lot. Tries to make it so that They can play very quickly. Flashpoint's a very fast-paced game mode.
Ban is Reaper from Purdue.
That's not terribly surprising. Reaper was giving him a good amount of trouble on King's Row. Definitely gave him a lot of trouble on that last Havana point. So not surprising to see that ban come out. I'd be expect now. What is also important to note about that Reaper ban is that Reaper ban prevents Keiser from banning the Sombra. So interested to see what Keiser tries to ban here. But Ghoul will be free to play Sombra no matter what. So
But the question here, though, is who will Kaiser ban? Like, because they could ban the Sombra. Well, no, they can't. Never mind. They can't ban DPS. But, like,
yeah,
I don't really see a tank that's overwhelmingly in Purdue's favor, because they had the Reinhardt, they had the Orisa. Like, there's not really any specific tank I guess they could get rid of. And for a healer, I mean, again, same kind of scenario. You don't have anyone overwhelmingly standing out from Purdue's healers. So I don't really know who Kaiser has to ban.
yeah, no, I'm really not sure what they do here. I have seen a lot of Venture Lancer of us. Wait, no, they can't. Also DPS. I guess potentially Wuyong. There's been a good amount of Wuyong poken from Frog. They can't ban Ana again. So not Ana. I guess I could see possibly a Reinhardt ban. But Peely's kind of played it basically all the tank. So I'm not too worried about that if I'm Purdue. So
There's not really any
really,
significant people to ban.
yeah. Besides DPS, which, unless I'm mistaken about the rules, they are not able to ban.
Yeah, even because even Fancy from Kaiser's asking if they can ban a DPS. Peely's just no. Because, I mean, that's the rule. You can't ban within the role.
Yep.
So that means they have to go support or tank, and Purdue doesn't really have any that are stand out in either role, I guess. So it's kind of hard to decipher what they'll do. Still nothing yet from Kaiser here. But we do have to remember the fact, if Kaiser takes Ravasa, that's it. And then that's game for Kaiser. So
Yep.
Purdue just has to figure out what their game plan is going to be to beat Kaiser here and pull it into a fifth map. But if Kaiser plans what they're going to do well, which I feel like that can be kind of rough, especially with that Purdue banning Reaper here. Still anything yet? No, still nothing from Kaiser.
Yep. Should be getting their ban shortly. Yeah, no, they're taking. I mean, I get that they're taking a while because I really don't know what they ban other than a DPS, and that's locked away because of that Reaper ban from Purdue.
So, I mean, I guess they're probably gonna go like Reinhardt or Wu Young here because I feel like that's what they would expect out of Purdue, and well, I don't know what else they would do here.
Yeah. I'd probably. I really don't know what I'd do in their situation. I'd probably move towards a tank just because Peely's been more of an issue for Kaiser than Green Juice or Flog. But honestly, I don't think it makes much of a difference at this point as far as their ban. I think anything that would have made a big impact um would be like a DPS ban, like getting rid of that Sombra, getting rid of that Venture baby. Um, but those are locked away because of the Reaper ban, and it looks like we're gonna get a Rhine ban. Not terribly surprising. They did struggle against Ryan a lot on King's Row. Um, but I don't think Purdue is unhappy with this at all. Peely's been able to play basically every tank. I think we're gonna see Healy kind of move towards that Orisa for a brawl on this.
Okay, so I mean, this is I don't know. Just looking at it, how it's right now, it does look like a very Purdue favored map here. Just with that Purdue can have their really powerful DPS here, and I feel like maybe saying head isn't a great thing, but I feel like this is looking good for Purdue.
Yeah, no, I think for sure Purdue definitely has a good look here, and I think the result of this map's mainly going to come down to Ghoul's gameplay on that Sombra. I assume Ghoul will be playing the Sombra here. Possibly the Venture, but I'd expect the Sombra. If they're able to really be a pain in Kaiser's neck, then I think Purdue kind of has a really good shot on this map. But if Kaiser's able to adjust some of these points, or it's a little easier to play around Sombra than at some points on King's Row for the supports, since it's a little bit harder to fully split the attention, just based on like the different flank routes Sombra has access to. But it's kind of hard to say if the Sombra is going to be enough from the side of Purdue to fully shut down Kaiser, because apart from King's Row, it really hasn't been so far in this game.
Yeah, I feel like Purdue has this advantage, and yeah, they got the Orisa, a Junkrat here. The Junkrat pick kind of surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, I think Junkrat is definitely been what Chicken Man's kind of wanting to play on a lot of these maps. So it makes sense. They're leaning towards a very brawl-heavy comp with that Juno speed, but also the Wu Yang poke damage. And it looks like we're going to be seeing Ghoul on that Venture. So going to be trying to play very up-close, personal, very fast. But we are going to see a Sim Ram from the other side, so maybe trying to extend those brawls a little bit. I do think Purdue's going to have a bit of an advantage there just because Juno Wu Yang's going to have a bit more healing than the Fury for Brig. I think that might be a little disjointed on the side of Kaiser, but we shall see, as they are going to get to point first because of that Sim TP. And a lot of damage going on the Peely very quickly is going to cause Purdue to have to walk out, and it's going to give first point control pretty cleanly over to Kaiser and a pick onto Ghoul. That's very not good for Purdue. Peely's going to go down shortly after, and it's going to be a very clean first cap on the side of Kaiser, unless Junk's able to do much, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to, and it looks like he's in danger of getting picked by these DPS on the side of Kaiser, and it looks like he will go down, but is able to take out Sim on the way out.
And then it does look like that Purdue might need to kind of just regroup and rework. They did go from that Orisa to that Zarya here.
Yeah, that Zarya may help a little bit, getting bubbles on the Ghoul, giving Ghoul just a little more resources as far as going over to try to get picks. with kills. Gould is going to move forward onto the Ram. Does get that bubble. Not getting a lot done right now. As Ram's able to get healed and not able to finish anything, so there's a lot of damage that's being healed back up right now. And in that meantime, Freya is able to get the Junkrat, and that's just going to, after that, they're just going to snowball into getting more
Looks like
resources.
Huey went down there, and Purdue down for another team fight on the team kill.
Yeah, I think Cool with this venture, very much able to get a lot done, but they're right now it seems they're going more for the front line rather than the back line, and that's just allowing the back line to kind of keep their front line up for free. They're not getting pressured, and while the Ram is just surviving because he has Nemesis form, he has block. The Frey and Sim are able to get a lot of work done, kind of take down the rest of Purdue, while Venture's not doing all that much because the tank has so much health that they're not able to quickly burst it down. But we're going to see Purdue try to win more of these points. We need to see them trying to quickly burst down the more vulnerable characters of Keiser, of which there are many. A lot of these heroes are vulnerable targets. We're going to see Tyre coming out from Purdue right now. Looks like it's going after Freya right now. Is able to pick up that Freya, and we're going to see both DPS down for Keiser. Although Matra is on point right now with Annihilation, but it looks like kills are going inside of Purdue. This should clean up fairly quickly, and we should see first cap go the way of Purdue.
And that's the team fight win for Purdue there. They looked really good in that fight there.
Yeah, I think being able to get there first and establish control was really big. We're going to see Fancy move off that Symmetra onto Echo. Currently, Purdue doesn't have a ton to deal with that other than the Baptiste, and I'm not sure that Baptiste is going to really be able to shut down that Echo in the air. This could be troublesome for Purdue.
Purdue does have that ventral though, and if Ghoul can get his placement right, he can really get some work in.
Yeah, Ghoul is able to get the pick quickly onto that Echo, which is going to be very big for them. We're going to see Rally Force on the side of Keiser, trying to punish that right now. Ghoul's able to get it. We do see Wee onto that venture as well. Moving on, does pick up the Kiriko and the Freya with that, and that's going to be a very quick point lead take for Purdue, evening up the round 1-1. Very, very good start for Purdue. On that point, I think a lot of this map is going to be momentum. Who gets to point first, who gets set up first. Once teams are set up, they're able to shut down the opponents very well. It looks like with where the next one is, that it's going to be a little bit favored for Keiser right now. It looks like they're going to get there first, which might make it hard since Purdue struggled a lot with moving in on those engages, but they do have 4 ults moving into this, so they should be able to make some room with Grav, Window, Tectonic Shock, something of the sort. If they were able to get in quickly and flip this point right away, it looks like they're in a really good spot to win the map.
But that's if
Early
Purdue's ult
Tectonic Shock is pushed, but does get the Freya. Decent amount of damage onto the Brig. Gonna commit even harder onto that Brig. That Brig is getting low. Does look to swap to the Kiriko. Does end up getting cast off the map, but goes off themselves. They are still up 1, and they're dropping very low. Looks like they are going to get that finish. And it looks like it's just going to be cleanup here for Purdue as Kiriko goes down. It's just Ram on point. Freya may come back, but it's not going to flip too much. Purdue was able to cap that early, so they were having percentage take the vast majority of that fight, which puts them in a really good spot to win this point. And they really only used the Venture ult. They kept all of their other ults. So it's going to be doing... Yeah, it's going to be very... It's a very good look for Purdue right now. They look to be very much in control of this map.
Very much, yeah. Purdue's looking like... Purdue's the type of team that somehow goes from being getting overwhelmed to doing really good on the next map.
Yeah. Annihilation is able to come out after they force back lamp, which does lead to the command going down. Incineration is coming out as well. Fancy does go down on that cast. Ghoul is dropping very low though, is taken out by the Brig. Looks like we're gonna see grab committed by Feely to try to flip this fight. Not a lot of kills coming from it though, so it looks like Keiser should be able to maintain control of this as they are up a little bit. But if Purdue's able to get a pick, then ooh, we're gonna see Ruyon committed as well as Tyre. We're able to get 2 kills from that. It looks like they're able to flip that back window as well, and it looks like they're flipping this completely and are gonna take their second point, leaving them 1 point from taking this map.
Purdue is. It seems like they're the type of team that, like, they'll do not bad, but okay, but just still get beaten out, and then then they'll win, then back, then win. Because it seems like they. I don't know if it's just me, but Purdue does kind of seem like a very reactive in how they like to play.
Looks like we are going to see the Pharah coming out from Keiser, which will make it hard for Purdue. There's not a lot they have to deal with that, but Ghoul is able to take out the Junkrat on the side of Keiser right away. Does get taken out by the Pharah though, so it's an even trade 1-1 for each team, and there's really nothing to contest this Pharah, so I'm very worried about if Purdue's just going to get poked down. But they are able to push out the Pharah for a little bit, but there's not a ton happening each way, but you're going to see Flaw go down to that Pharah. But Chicken Man's able to pick up the Brig. There's picks going both ways right now. Pharah doing a lot of work on pressuring that backline. We're already see Venture full commit onto that Pharah, but it looks like they will go down 2 to Swift J, and it looks like this fight will be going the way of Keiser. But very uneven, so it might be we might be able to see Purdue coming for a quick recap because they are able to take down that Junkrat as well.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue is. I feel like they don't group up enough. Like, some people die, and when they should back off to regroup, they don't, and that seems to be really detrimental for them.
We do see the recapture from Purdue there on the back of Ghoul getting a pick on that Venture, which does look very good from them, getting control and is able to pick up that bar. That puts them in a very good position. Purdue coming up on 5 ults right now. Keiser also coming up on a lot, still without that beat though, which is very, very hard to deal with. We are going to see, I think as long as Purdue's able to play quick and proactive with these ults, using them before Kaiser's able to use theirs, Keiser doesn't have a lot to do because they have no defensive ults. So if Keiser isn't able to ult first, then they're in a really bad spot. But they do get a pick on Ghoul right away. That's very big for them as Tectonic Shock's out of the picture. And a long range for us is going to pick up Flog and is also going to pick up Green Shoe shortly after. So that's going to be a very quick recapture coming from Keiser. That's going to be very big for them. There will be 5 ults coming from Purdue in this next fight, but still 3 on the side of Keiser, so it will be hard for Purdue to recontest, especially if Keiser uses ults aggressively like they just did.
See, but Purdue does have Ghoul with the Venture ult again, and if Ghoul plays it right, that ult can be really detrimental for Keiser.
Yeah, especially if they go in aggressively with that Tectonic Shock. Keiser hasn't had a lot of ways to deal with that. We're going to see Tyre come out on the side of Purdue. Not moving a lot right now. Fancy does get Ghoul with Junkrat, okay, and Far goes down as well, so it's a 1-1 trade. Luyon solo ulting right now, is able to knock down the Lucio. Doesn't look like a lot of kills are coming from Tyre. Gets taken out by the opposing Junkrat. We're going to see Window and Grab, and that's going to be a ton of kills coming from Junkrat, and it looks like Purdue will be able to get this back their way.
And it does look like Purdue is going to take again with Purdue with another retake. I mean,
massive ult combo coming from Keely and Green Juice. A lot of damage amp with that Junkrat into a grab, just able to clean up very quickly. Looks like we're going to see Ghoul's Tectonic Shock in the Kitsune Rush right now. Pick onto Pharah, and Lucio looks like they're going to be cleaning up, and it looks like Purdue will be taking Surabasa, and wants to send this to a map 5. They're not done yet.
And there goes the ball, and here it goes into map 5. That was a good game for a good map for Purdue right there. I mean, the old economy worked and everything just seemed to go right for Purdue there. And then now, I mean, what do you think Keiser can really do here? I mean,
Yeah, I think Kaiser's best bet is probably to bring it. It's push, I believe. So my guess is they're probably going to be wanting to try to avoid something like Esperanza. I don't know exactly what the map pool is for this league,
I mean,
but trying to go to maps that are more poke oriented, which is hard with the push map type.
I mean,
So
you
they're
could get
probably trying to avoid that.
with a Coliseo. Coliseo could be a really good poke here with all those openings.
Yeah, I could see Coliseo being a good pick. I think Runa Soppy and New Queen Street wouldn't be terrible. But I would definitely try to be avoiding Esperanza for the most part. I think Venture can be run there and can be very troublesome. If they go to one of the other ones, I think they focus on maybe banning the Sombra, just because Sombra's been an issue, and Venture was an issue on that map, but also if you go to the right map, then Venture's probably not going to get played just because they're not as good. But I could also see them just banning the Venture just because it was a massive pain in the butt. I could also see them banning the Junkrat as their Pharaoh is struggling a lot with getting picked by Chicken Man on that Junkrat, and it caused them a lot of pain in some of those extended fights.
Which, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised because Pharaoh's mostly weak to the hit scans. I normally wouldn't see much, I mean, weakness far from someone like Junkrat. I feel like Junkrat's not the best character, but Purdue figured out how to make it work, and they were able to deal with that far accordingly.
Yeah, I think the Pharaoh on the side of Keiser was very much going for a lot of flanks to try to quickly get kills, and it got to the point where they were on their flanks running into Junkrat, which allowed the Junkrat to kind of take advantage of them. And they just weren't in the air very often. They were in the air when they were going for specific maneuvers, but for the most part, they were more grounded.
It does
Looks
look
like we are
it's going
seeing
to be
them go to
Coliseo.
Coliseo. Yeah, so that does make sense. I don't think that's the best look for Purdue, but I also know Sombra can get a lot done on Coliseo if that doesn't get banned. So if they do choose not to ban the Sombra, I think that's probably their best path to victory. If they don't, I'd probably still run this kind of brawl that they were running on Esperanza and that they ran on King's Row. I think they had a lot of success with it, and I think they kind of struggled when they went towards poke on Havana, or when they went towards like poke or dive on Nepal. So I definitely think running that brawl, regardless of what gets banned, is probably the best option for Purdue here.
I mean, here, yep, and there's that Sombra ban like we were expecting from Keiser.
Yeah, not surprising to see that. Wouldn't be surprised if Purdue decides, even though it's not not optimal on this map, to still try to run the Venture. I really would like to see Purdue continue to run that brawl. They seem to be better at it. They seem to struggle when they're on more poke-oriented comps. So it'll be interesting to see what they go, but I'd like to see them continue to run that brawl. But time will tell a little bit here.
Have we gotten anything from Purdue yet?
We have not, as their captain is going to the potty.
So I mean, who would you think Purdue should ban here?
As far as what I think Purdue should ban, I don't think they've had a lot of trouble dealing with individual characters other than the Reaper, which they already banned, and also a DPS was banned, so they couldn't ban it anyway. Same with Soj. But really, I think on the tank side, they've been relatively even. And they've already banned Kiriko on the support side. So I honestly don't know what they might ban. Maybe Brig, but I really don't see a ton for Purdue to gain from banning here. I think it's mostly going to be about playing their own game from here on out, and trying to do that. There's not a ton they can do with bans to try to help increase the odds of that, just because of what they've already banned and the bans coming in from Keiser. So I just don't know what to expect from the bans. They might try to ban something that's more pokey to try to make sure they can run the brawl. Maybe banning Sigma or something like that, but really don't know.
I feel like it's going to be either a Sigma or a Ram, maybe. I know Ram isn't common on this map, but I feel like with the way Purdue's been looking at doing bans, I feel like they might try and do that, a Sigma or a Ram, since both have been very effective in the team comp for Keiser here.
Yeah. Yeah, very exciting though. Map 5 for Purdue. Very close game, very back and forth throughout. So I think this map does fare a bit better for the strength of Keiser. But you can never count Purdue out, especially when Ghoul will just have like 3 or 4 fights in a row where he picks ugly on the other team. So very excited to see how this match ends up going.
Yep, I mean, it could go either way here with the way this game's been going. So it's hard to tell really how it's gonna go. Is Purdue gonna go ahead? Is Purdue not? It's hard to say.
Yeah. I think Kaiser's definitely going to try to force Purdue off the brawl. I don't know necessarily. I think they'll almost definitely run. I think it's likely they run Soj Reaper, and send Reaper kind of on that flank, because the supports on Purdue have had a lot of trouble dealing with that Reaper on the flank, and the DPS and tank on Purdue haven't necessarily been scouting that out super well. So I think that's probably what they're going to be trying to do to try to disrupt Purdue. And I'm interested to see if we're going to see any adjustments from Purdue to try to deal with that kind of Reaper Sojourn double threat.
It's hard to tell what Purdue's gonna do. It could do anything. So I mean, you kind of just have to wait, see what Purdue does, and I guess see if it works. Okay, I don't see the message. What is that?
Still no bans coming from Purdue. They're debating who is the GOAT between LeBron and Jordan. So I'm just re-upping the ask for Purdue's ban. They're gonna ban Mercy.
I don't like that.
I'm not big on it either. I do kind of get it, because on Havana they struggled in the poke matchup when their DPS were not pocketed versus the other teams were. So I do understand it from that perspective. I also get the main thing that would help them in the brawl is kind of getting rid of that Kiriko to make it really easy to get some anti-nades like they got in King's Row, but they already banned Kiriko, so they can't do that. Not a lot of options for them. They've kind of used up a lot of their really useful bans. So I do kind of get the Mercy ban, but I also think it's not going to have that big of an effect on this map.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, really, they haven't used much Mercy other than that Havana. I don't even know if they did use Mercy at all, other than Havana.
I think it was pretty much just Havana, so it might just be like a safety, just like, please don't run poke. But not super sure where that ban's coming from, but also not a lot of good options left for Purdue.
I mean, I do feel like the Sigma or the Ramatra might have been a better pick here for the ban, personally, but because both have been so effective for Keiser going into this. I mean, all we can really do is see what happens.
Looks like we will be seeing the Reaper Surge like I talked about with the Ram, so nothing super pokey, but we will be seeing the Sig carry the Soldier Adventure on the side of Purdue. Little concerned about that Sig pick. I think they've been a lot better on the Brawl. Don't know why they'd be leading into poke when they don't necessarily need to on this map, but interested to see how that works out. Especially in the tank trade, because that's something they've generally been winning, and Ramatra's generally going to be able to run up on Sigma and kind of win that. We're going to be seeing Reaper flank right away for Keiser, already going on the flank, moving on to Venture right away, forcing a burrow, is able to Wraith out after that burrow comes up. It looks like they're going to try to move on to that Venture right away, but does get picked by that Venture, but Venture does go down right away, so it is an even trade right now. 1 DPS for 1 DPS. Ram is going quite low already, but not a lot going either way. It's fairly even right now. A lot of characters, mostly at full health, the ones that went low, have been healed up. Very much a stalemate right now. Chicken Man goes a little low due to a Surge Rail. Ram looking to push up a little bit with that field, isn't quite able to, doesn't have Nemesis form. Looks like Purdue is backing up a little bit now that Reaper is back in a little bit of cart. Duel's going in very aggressively, trying to get into that Reaper. Reaper is TPing out. Looks like not a lot's going to come from that new aggression, but Chicken Man is able to pick up that Reaper, and it looks like Ram's going to fall shortly after that.
They do pick the Ram and the Kiri here, though. The Ram and the Kiri being taken out. This is very bad for Keiser here.
Late stagger onto that Soge is going to be very big for Purdue. It's going to allow them a good step of progress because there's not going to be any hope to kind of push Purdue back early on. But Soge is now coming back, so should be back in time to hopefully stop Purdue from capping. But Venture's going to go down right away, so that's not good for Purdue. And it looks like Sig's getting pressed. He's going to be pushed back with the rest of his team. And Kaiser's just going to keep Wing in. So's on a big flank. Ana dropping very low for Purdue. Getting pressed a little bit now, though. And the Ram coming in is able to take out the Sigma, followed by the Ana. Wu Young ult is able to take out the Soge, but it doesn't do a lot, and could have been used in a fight that they might have won. So, a little disappointing to see that ult come out, especially when we're now going to see Keiser coming with 5 ultimates. So, Purdue definitely needs to use some of their ults early to make sure that Keiser just doesn't steamroll, because they definitely have the ultimates available to get a lot of push right now. Ghoul's going to engage very early with that Drill Dash Burrow. Sig coming in right away for the Brawl. Big Blossom going to be killing Wu Young and Venture, and then Annihilation's going to pick up 2 more. That's only 2 ults for Keiser, and it's going to get them the lead. Again, no ults came out for Purdue, so they will have the opportunity to ult, but if they don't ult quickly, then Keiser's going to keep ulting them, and they don't have the defensive ults to react right now because they're running Wu Young, and they're using that ult very offensively, and the Innoverse isn't a super great defensible, so if they're not ulting first, they're going to be ulting in spawn, because they're going to die. Swift A dropping kind of low, receiving a lot of support.
They do take...
Does
take the Ram here, though.
Wraith is forced. do not manage to touch in time to stop checkpoint. The checkpoint is going to go the way of Keiser. Overclock is going to be popped, but for the most part, it looks like this fight is going to go the way of Purdue. But Sig goes down, and Ana goes down to the Reaper. So few kills go the way of Keiser, but the fight overall goes the way of Purdue. But not happy that they gave up that checkpoint. They really didn't need to. They had some players that could have touched. That's gonna hurt them because spawn's already back for Keiser because of that close spawn, and it's gonna make it even harder to get because when Keiser comes back, they're not gonna have to stop the checkpoint at all. Purdue will have to stop there. It's gonna make it harder to retake the lead. Really want to see some early aggressive ults from Purdue here before we see stuff like the Junior Russian window comes out. Looks like we're going to see 2 popped at once, and it's going to leave you a lot of deaths there. 2 for Ghoul and 1 for Chicken Man, as it looks to just be cleanup at this point for Purdue. Very quick fight from them. That's what I want to see from them, using their ults aggressively. And we even saw an ult come out from Keiser afterwards with that Baptiste ult. So you're able to do 2 for 1. Very quick fight, not a lot of ult charge for the opposing team. And you're able to get a late stagger on the Curie, so get a lot of cart push. Ghoul almost gets trapped in that Ramacha field trying to shut down Ghoul like was done on Havana. Ghoul dropping very low, is able to get back in the burrow, but the Sojourn is able to pick up the soldier on the side of Purdue very quickly. It looks like Purdue is able to pick up checkpoint, doesn't quite have the lead though. We are going to see Leon come out, is going to hit as well as Kiriko Rush. We are going to see some kills go both ways right now with Sojourn and Leon going down, but it looks like the kills are going a little bit more towards the way of Keiser right now, so they will maintain that. Actually, no, I think Purdue has lead right now. That I actually can't tell. It looks like they have the exact same, so I don't know.
No, Purdue has the slightest bit of a lead, but
slightest lead. Okay.
Yeah. Because I do see
very even right now. Big pick onto that Reaper early. Looks like we're going to see Chicken Man on that May. I do like that pick. It shut down. It helped a lot on King's Row. And I don't think the Solar can do a return, so I do like that swap. But Ghoul, very aggressive on that Venture, is taken out, so it's one pick both ways. A lot of DPS trades happening on this last map. But not a ton other than that DPS trade right now. Looks like we're going to see them both coming back. We are seeing kind of a very aggressive pass angle from Sadie, and Annihilation's going to just kind of lead the cleanup for Keiser as they're able to push past getting these kills. Looks like they might be able to stagger that Wuyong very close to death, but they're able to flip it and kill the Ramatra. Reaper is able to get the Wuyong in the end, is now trying to get May coming out of Ice Block. Don't know if he'll be able to get that, flip that Ram going down is very, very bad for Keiser. But Reaper's able to get the May, and Venture's dropping very low out of Burrows, probably going to get taken up. Is able to escape. There is no Ram field, but Keiser's able to quickly get lead. Death Velocity does come out, Reaper dies quickly.
That does give Keiser the lead though.
Yes. Does give Keiser the lead. We do see Flux come out. Looks like we're going to be seeing some kills coming for Purdue. We do see High Noon get used. Not a lot coming from it. And overall, Purdue should win this fight, especially with that anti-nade. But losing that lead's very troublesome. It's going to be very hard to retake that. They don't have a lot of ults, and especially May Venture getting onto this like high ground area is going to be very troublesome. It's going to be a lot easier for the heroes on the side of Keiser to make use of that. Purdue's very good once they set up on the high ground, especially with that Sig, that Ana. But until they do so, it's going to be very hard for them to push up on it. They're probably looking to do so with Blizzard. They force Reaper Wraith early, might be able to get a pick here. They'll definitely be looking to do it. Doesn't look like they're going to, as they're going to get support from Ram. Blizzard gets thrown, doesn't seem to quite catch anyone, but does separate the side of Keiser. But Sadie's able to get a pick onto Flog very early, and then Ghoul goes down, and it looks like it's going to be flipping back towards Keiser, with an ult kind of just not getting a lot of value there. Definitely very bad look for Purdue, especially with only 2 minutes left. Moving more Keiser's way, probably going to get some more progress, and they're just kind of staggering from this point out. We need to make sure the rest of Purdue lives, because if we see any more death from them, it's going to be almost impossible for them to win this map.
Yeah, I feel
Looks like they are going to be swapping.
I do feel like Purdue does need to group up a bit more when it comes to this.
Ghoul's going to die early to that backfield. Not a good look. Going to be very hard to win with this 4v5. So they're just going to give up more space, which is going to make it harder to take back the lead later. Healy taking a lot of damage on that ult. So it looks like we're going to see a Death Boss and take out Healy, Fuses, and Quad. That's terrible for Purdue. And more ults coming out from the side of Keiser. And it looks like Keiser might be trying to complete here. They're getting very close to it. And it looks like the contest will be coming out from Ghoul on that Tracer. We're going to see Annihilation. We're going to see Yuyongo. But a lot of health bars getting dangerously low for Purdue. Looks like we're going to see Lucio go down to Annihilation. We're going to see Frog die. Healy's dropping very low on card. No one's on card for Purdue, and it looks like that's going to be a complete cap for Keiser, and Keiser will take it in 5.
To me, that a lot of that map looked more like Purdue running like partial dive, partial poke in a way. And with that partial dive and partial poke, they just couldn't. They weren't grouped up enough. So you would have Ghoul pushing in so hard, and Ghoul just couldn't do anything because he wasn't with his team often. They weren't with the team, and they couldn't really correlate as a team very well.
Yeah. When they ran the Venture in like the more streamlined brawl, they often went in at the same time as their tank, and it led to a lot of good kills, good plays, and that just didn't happen here as much. They went in on their own a lot. They got caught out, or they either died or they got forced out with low health. But overall, close game. Fun game to cast.
Yeah, it was close, and a few things Purdue could fix, and then they could, and if they do that, I mean, for future games, that could really do well for them. So, I mean, just things Purdue can look at, can go back to, and that's about it. Anything you want to add?
Nope, I think that's about it.
All right, then guess that's it for the Purdue Sigma match here. And I mean,
The whole day.
that's about it.
Yep.
See anyone watching this? There will be a Purdue match tomorrow on the Purdue Esports Twitch account that you can go and watch at about 7 or 8 o'clock. Not entirely sure what the match is, but Purdue will be playing either Gold or Varsity tomorrow. Not entirely sure who Purdue is streaming. And
I think they're playing each other.
Yeah, they are. I remember that. Yeah, it's Purdue Gold versus Purdue Varsity at, I want to say it's 7 o'clock tomorrow. So, I mean, yeah, that's it for this Purdue Sigma game, and everyone have a great night.